Building a fence is a project most do-it-yourselfers can handle. Before you begin your fencing project, check your local regulations and ordinances so you know the rules about fences in your neighborhood. Check typical local frost levels to ensure you'll set the posts at the proper depth. You'll also need to call the utility companies to mark underground cables and pipelines. And it's always a good idea to talk to your neighbors whose properties border your proposed fence. Let them know what you're planning. Make a list of the materials and tools you'll need for the type of fence you're building. Then, after measuring the linear footage the fence will cover, calculate the number of posts, panels, and gates you'll need based on that footage. Determine the location, purpose, and size of your gate. Remember to account for the size of lawn equipment that'll need to pass through the gate. Find your property boundary, measure at least 6 inches inside it, and drive stakes into the ground to mark the corners and ends of the fence line. Then, mark the fence layout by stretching string between the stakes. Before you set your posts, decide how you'll connect the backer rails to the posts. Whether toe-nailed, face-nailed, or attached by mortise and tenon, the method you use will have an impact on how far apart your posts should be. Then, mark where your posts will be along the string line. Use a post hole digger or power auger to make post holes 10 to 12 inches wide and deep enough so that 1/3 of each post is in the ground. Also, when making your calculations, keep in mind the panel height and that you want the post to be well below the frost line. If you're building on uneven ground, you'll need more post above the ground to accommodate the mounting height. You may also need to leave space from the highest point of the panel to the top of the post for the post cap. Install each post the same way, paying careful attention to the spacing between them. Once the posts are where you want them, fill each hole with ready-mix concrete. Overfill each hole and slope the concrete away from the post to keep water from collecting. Tamp the concrete to remove air pockets, and recheck to make sure the post is still plumb. After checking to make sure a post is plumb on 2 adjacent sides, brace the posts. Use a board to adjust the height. Remember that all backer rails should be the same distance from the ground and from each other to give your fence the perfect finished appearance. To install wood fence panels, first pre-drill the holes to avoid splitting. Then attach the panels with exterior wood screws. And cut the tops off. Finish each post with one of our decorative finial tops or a post cap. After that, you simply need to install the gate by first choosing which way you want it to swing, then mounting the hinge hardware at the proper height, mounting the gate to the post, checking the gate for clearance, and mounting the latch hardware. After that, simply paint, seal, or stain your fence, and sit back and enjoy the results.